Hello, y'all on YouTube. This is Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special box coming in, something from Adept Knives. They had something on sale and a really great coupon. And yeah, I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Stacy Bolster Blades or Bo Patty. Somebody told me about this, and man, it was a great deal. So here we go. We're going to get into the box. Let's see what we got. All right, today I'm opening it up with my Spyderco Shaman with the Rockscale Design scales on here. These are the bronze. This is the Lynch Northwest Shaman clip, and then this is the OCD for EDC CME, compression made easy. This is the titanium polished version attached to my Shaman. So there we go. I think there's only one piece of tape on this one. All right, let's make sure there's no receipt in there we have to worry about. Doesn't look like it. Okay, no receipt. All right, so here's the box. It's a Spyderco. Imagine that. What do we got? Oh, this might look familiar. It might look familiar. Yes, this is a Shaman. Not Shaman, sorry, a Bodacious. So if you remember, here's the Shaman and here's the Bodacious. The Bodacious doesn't have the little finger choil like this one does right here, right? It has a fuller grip right there, right? But it's got a fuller blade. So, but similar. So there we go. Let's see here. Is it a little? It's a little off center. Okay, we'll have to fix that. But it's the G10 scales. Now, what's different? You notice it's a blue scale. Now this is G10, smooth G10, as opposed to the rough G10. Now I can polish and smooth the edges out, which I'll probably do, and we'll probably get a different clip for that. We do need to get a different clip, but that is the Bodacious right here, right? So what's the difference? Well, this is made in Colorado, so it's USA made, but look at this. CPM SPY27. So that's their proprietary Spyderco steel from Crucible Metals before they went out of business. They still have some of this. So I'm told it's between like S45VN and S35VN blade steel, so it should be pretty good. Action is pretty decent on this one. It is a little dead nut center. I'm not too worried about it, and the reason why I'm not going to fix this right away and do anything right away is because I've got some scales coming in we're going to try on this one. I'm super excited about that. So we'll be trying some scales on this one. We'll be doing a build probably tomorrow or the day after. Don't know when they're coming in. If they come in on time, then that's when we'll do it, right? But SPY27 steel. Now I had that steel on a Mannix too, but I'm going to make that a giveaway knife. So we're going to be giving away that Mannix as a members giveaway. And I just felt like I needed to give something special back to the community, but I was able to replace it. I always said I wanted a Bodacious with a more specialty steel, not S30VN. Okay, so those of you guys, you're like, what's wrong with S30VN? There's nothing wrong with S30VN. So hold your horses. Every one of you guys out there who's angry and upset and thinking I'm dogging on S30VN. I like to collect Spydercos because of their different steels. That's what I enjoy. And then I like to mod them, okay? I've had S30VN forever, and I've had a ton of S30VN. It doesn't excite me. I know it's a great steel, and I honestly know their heat treat, everything they do, their S30VN is probably better than a lot of other steels out there, even like M390, 20CV, some of these other companies running that stuff. I get it. I get it. I understand, okay? You don't have to make the argument. I'm going to be like, yep, sure, exactly. I agree with you. I'm not going to disagree. I'm not arguing with you at that point. When I make a knife, if I'm going to do a mod, I like to have a specialty steel. And this is S30VN blade steel. And typically when you get an S30 Bodacious and the, and the Shaman, the backspacer is the same steel as the blade. So now we have SPY27 blade steel in this one, right? So G10, this could easily be modded. You could round this and soften all these edges and these corners all the way around. We definitely would put a CME on here for sure, but I wouldn't do that until the other scales come in from the company that's giving them to me for me to try out. They just started making these and I wanted to highlight them. And I thought it would be a fun video to do. But first we're going to just do the unboxing. First of all, this is SPY27 blade steel. What I do notice, as opposed to the S30VN, it's a little more polished. I don't know. And it seems a little smoother. Okay. And that's purely me, right? But the S30VN doesn't seem, it wasn't this smooth when I first got it. And you know what's crazy is as I'm using this, it's starting to center up. Okay. That's just kind of wild. So the thing about when you have one of these is the CMEs, you can actually close it left-handed. And I'll show you over here. Here's my Spyderco Shaman. See how I can close it left-handed like that? as opposed to coming in here and then doing this, catching on your finger and then dropping it, right? So this one is really tuned in to be a really great front flipper on this one. Let's see how well this one does. The other one I had was pretty good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Now, if I kept this one, what I would do is I'd probably soften those nubs off there just a little bit, because there's no reason for them to come all the way down there, right? And I think on some of the scales I've seen, the titanium scales, they actually do that. They soften that. And I'm guessing that's a lessor or one of the the owners or the father or the son who wanted it down a little bit like that as like a finger guard, which is fair, right? Right hand, left hand tip up only on this set of scales, smooth G10. Let's zoom in on this. Let's take a look. Definitely worth taking a look. Well, if I can zoom, let's try that again. Here we go. All right, so notice CPM SPY27. It is a belt satin finish on this guy. It's not a full flat grind because you can see that up here. Like it's a full flat grind up to about right here, and then it's not. So, but still, it's a chunky blade, but not as chunky, if you can see, as the Shaman. Shaman's definitely a little thicker. Comes out to a pretty strong, robust tip. I do like that. The typical spider hole that you have right there. Is it pretty sharp? Yeah, it's a little sharp on the edge out there. I mean, it's something you can polish down, but USA made. So G10, smooth G10. Not super sharp. I will tell you, the black G10 that I got in the S30VN was a lot sharper on the edges. This is different. This is very different. Okay, they must have been paying attention a little bit. People were complaining this was really crazy sharp, because it was. The G10, it was so sharp that I had to file it right away. There's no way I could even hold it because it was so sharp. It's gonna be terrible. You can actually see there's a little bit of chamfering going on there. It's definitely a larger chamfer. Can you see that? Here, let's see if we can zoom in on that. Definitely more chamfering going on. That's cool. And that was one of the things that all the custom scales came out. They were immediately, people jumped on those in a heartbeat because they were so much more comfortable. That is way better. Okay, good job, Spyderco, for listening. Good job for listening. I appreciate you guys doing that. That's nice. Again, this goofy lanyard hole. I know some people just love that. Speaking of lanyards, I may be doing a pretty cool little unboxing of some lanyards that I won, but they'll probably end up being like part of giveaways, I'm pretty sure. But looks like I got a whole bunch of them, but we'll take a look at that here. You'll see that in the future. It probably won't be today, but sometime in the future. But there you go. There's the back, the little mark, and then you've got Golden Colorado. You've got the G10 back here, again, smooth. And here's the compression lock. You can see that engagement right there. Can we get that focused right there, right? So, and then you have the clip, which is my least favorite thing from Spyderco, their goofy clip. I don't like their clips. I've never have. So the steel liners are cut out for a little weight relief. Let's look at that on the other side. Yeah, both sides. So it's not super heavy. Let's see, where's the center? It's about right there, I think. About right there. So it's still a little back heavy, but not bad. All right, so what else do we have? Oh, here's the back spacer. And it has very similar properties to the blade, if you'll notice. You see how it looks very similar? It's because it's supposed to be a piece of the blade all the way through. So very nice. And then there's the cutaway from the compression lock that works well like this. So you can drop it like that, right? And then you can close it like that. So we got the open like that. Pretty good access to the hole, both left and right side. Could you make it a little bit more access? You absolutely could. There's definitely room in here where you could definitely do more of that. So that's cool. All right, so there it is closed. Now you'll notice it is a little off to the left. I'm not too worried about that. See here, any blade plate? No, it is off a little to the left. That's always a bummer. Hopefully we can fix that. Usually that's an easy fix. We will see, right? But not bad, not bad. Okay, what else are we looking at? Yeah, pretty cool. Let's zoom out here. All right, so let's get ourselves a nice little picture of the knife. Here we go with the G10. What do you think about that? I like that. I like the little G10, the blue G10 scale. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not one of my more favorite ones, but I could definitely modify that. Definitely some room for that in there, sending all the way. If I weren't going to be replacing these really soon. Today's Wednesday. I think the scales I'm going to replace them with are coming in Friday. So a couple of days from now. So I suspect the video would, you'd see this unboxing, and then probably 2 or 3, 4 or 5 days later, you'd see the build So that's usually how I get that out there. So very cool. And I'm going to try to put a CME on at the same time. I don't know if I have any clips for it. I did just remembered. I don't think I ordered them, so I'm going to have to do that. All right, very cool. So this is the Bodacious with the SPY27 blade steel. Great deal, by the way. If you haven't shopped there at, what was the name of the company I had again? I'll have a link for where I bought it. Probably show sold out, but it's Adept Knives. Boy, you need to check them out. I had a really good deal. I had a really good price. It was kind of like a first time customer kind of deal, and it was definitely worth it. So thank you to those guys. Appreciate you guys. No stickers, nothing to add except for the typical little Spyderco sticker that we get in here, right? Yeah. Oh, here's a little paper on SPY27. In case you're curious, you want to focus in on that. So it says the foundation of CPM SPY27 was the alloy formula for VG10, a conventional ingot stainless steel that has been proven standard for Spyderco's Japanese-made knives for decades. Our goal was to enhance the VG10 composition with the addition of nitrogen, niobium, and the additional carbon and vanadium, and then produce a steel with the benefits of particle metallurgy process. Wow. SPY27 draws its name from Spyderco and the atomic number cobalt, a key element in the steel's formula that increases the strength, hardness, crucible particulate metallurgy, an advanced manufacturing process that uses that uses a high-pressure gas to atomize the molten steel into a spray that rapidly cools in a fine powder and prevents the alloys within the steel from segregating and ensures an exceptionally fine uniform grain structure. The powdered steel is then reheated in a high-pressure containers to create the ingots that are rolled to toughen the steel and mill it out into finished form. The SPY27 is corrosion-resistant stainless steel containing a finely tuned recipe of carbon, chromium, niobium, manganese, molybdenum. I'm not sure if I'm saying. I've never actually pronounced that. I thought I always pronounced that wrong. Nitrogen, silicon, and vanadium. We are confident this unique alloy mix, fortified with the intensifying effects of cobalt, will offer an outstanding performance that easily rivals premium blade steels. The exact alloy composition as CPM27 is as follows: 1.25% carbon, 14% chromium. Oh, that means it's supposed to be stainless, right? Cobalt, 1.5%, niobium, 1%, manganese, 0.5%, molybdenum, 2%, nitrogen, 0.1%, silicon, 0.5%, and vanadium, 2%. Spyderco is truly proud of the features of this high-performance blade steel elite expressions of several of our knives. No matter which model you choose, we're confident it will serve you well. Okay. It doesn't really talk about its corrosion resistance. I thought it was pretty corrosion resistant. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll have to research that again. Maybe I get mixed up. So many steels out there. You know how it is. I'm not a metallurgist, so I don't know all those details, but try to remember as best I can. And I know most of you guys know more than me, so feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. All right. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the channel really helps me out, allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you to everyone out there who watches the videos, enjoys the content, the live streams, part of the community. Thank you. Sincerely, thank you. If you haven't already, and maybe just consider this, if you haven't already, maybe hit that notification button down below as well. That way you can be notified of future content like this and other videos. And a big shout out to all my channel members out there. I appreciate you. You guys do two amazing things for me. You really do. I'm part-time. I don't do this full-time. You encourage me just by your support, being there as a community. Thank you. Secondly, because of your generous support and your memberships, you allow me to do things way sooner than I thought I could. For instance, we have once a week budget banger giveaway. I couldn't do that. I couldn't cover the cost of the shipping, the knives I borrow, get loaned out without you guys. Two, because of that generous support, you allow me to also borrow and loan knives, and be in pass-arounds. So I couldn't cover the cost of that shipping, that where I have to return knives or send it to someone else, right? So thank you for that as well. Because of those two things and because of your generosity, I also want to do two things for you guys. One, brand new channel members, I'd love to send you a channel sticker and a thank you note. So basically, if you're actively currently a member right now, you've never asked or received a channel sticker. Now that could be brand new channel members, usually it's 99% of them, but it could also be maybe a member who's been a member all along and never asked, or someone who was a member, became a member again and is actively a member, and you just never asked it. Email me your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a thank you note. All right, that's the first thing. Second of all, I also would love for you to know that you would be part of a once a month members exclusive giveaway. So every month, we have, every month we'll have the Budget Banger giveaway each week, but then 1 week in that month we'll have members exclusive giveaway. So that week, members have a potential to win 2 knives. Theoretically, one member could win 2 knives. They could win the Budget Banger giveaway, and then they could win the members exclusive giveaway. And I always try to make the members exclusive giveaway something a little nicer than the Budget Banger, something at least $100 or more, something hopefully you would enjoy receiving as a win, surprise, or one you would love giving away as a gift. So if that sounds interesting to you, you know, you're thinking, hey, how did I become a member? I like the idea of stickers. I want to support Rob's Nerdy Knives, which I'm blown away if you do. And I like the idea of the giveaway. And I also know that there's, you know, emoji, super chat stickers, and you get exclusive content. If you like any of that, there is a link down below in the description. I have 3 different tiers. Would love to have you as a channel member. Honestly, I would be blown away and humbled and love to have you as a channel member. But know this, absolutely know this. I don't expect it. I'm totally humbled by it. If you do choose to do so, please know that I don't want anybody to ever feel like they have to be a channel member. Do it because you want to, and if you do, thank you. Thank you. All right, big thank you to everyone else out there. Appreciate you guys. Stay tuned. There will be another part where we're going to put some cool scales on here. Hopefully they come in the mail. They don't get lost either. This actually took an extra 5 days to get here. It got lost, like a lot of mail seems to nowadays. So, but I'm glad it's here finally. All right, if you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.